Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Door Shutter, coming back to you with a brand new episode of Project Architect 2. And today, we're going to hopefully get done with lithium production. So, we're going to work on a couple things here. First being getting this completed, which is the thermal evaporation plant. So, we've got 4x4 on the bottom. We're going to replace that with a thermal evaporation controller. And we are going to build up to 18. So we are at 1, 2. Let's just do this to make it easier. So that should be 18. And then I hope just take the building gadget and do something like this. Perfect. And then down here, this should activate. I'm actually going to move this up one. It doesn't really matter where you put this. I think you could even put it at the top, technically, but it's just easier on ground level for me. So this is perfect. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take the brine that's in here and put it in here. So what we need to do for that is grab a thermal evaporation valve and a porter. We'll just put that guy there. We'll set this to brine. And this is liquid brine, right? I think it's just considered brine as of itself. It's one of the weird ones that doesn't follow a format. The mechanical pipe. Let's just toss that in my inventory for now. Okay. And then let's just make sure fluids, output top. And this is going to technically run. It's not going to run effectively because we actually haven't fully set up what we're going to do. But this is filling up with brine. And we're going to go here. We're going to put a thermal evaporation valve on the top. The only reason I'm doing it on the top is because I feel like it. No real big reason. But we have a recessive heater. And we're going to grab a flux point. Place that guy right there. And we'll do mech area power. And we want to say 2000. And we want to grab a Mekanism heat pipe or something. What is it called? Thermodynamic conductors. These things here. So let me get these crafted. All right, I've got this guy crafted. And now this should be heating up just enough to allow for us to get pretty much maximum efficiency out of the thermal evaporation plant. And what we're going to do now is on this side, we're going to put another port. And we are going to grab what we need for liquid lithium. So I think the deconcentrator. So the rotary... This thing, the rotary condensator. We'll need this to deconcentrate or whatever. So this will be... This is liquid lithium, right? So we just use the mechanical pipes. Okay. And that should be toggle, toggle. And let's make sure this is set correctly, too. So we're going to do clear, clear, input top for fluids, output front for gases. And that will be golden. Let's grab some upgrades. That'll shut that up. And then from... I thought I did it on this one. Apparently I missed that. So then lithium then just needs the chemical crystallizer. So let's quickly go ahead and make 2 of these guys. And I think I will put tubes in between here to act as like a temporary buffer. And that way they also kind of like round robin a little bit. And we also can run power. Up here, there we go. And then we also want to grab the upgrades. Okay. And none of these guys require any weird specialized upgrades, I don't think. Okay, perfect. No gas upgrades or anything. So then that is lithium dust, and that is perfect. So functional storage drawer. And pipes of some kind. Item pipes, there we go. And we'll just do output of items on top, output of items on top. And then probably grab some advanced pipe upgrades just so that's faster. And that is lithium dust. We do have enough stuff. Actually, do we have enough stuff? Or I say that, yeah, we do have enough stuff to kind of make another one of these thermal evaporation plants for brine production. I was trying to avoid this, but it looks like our attempt at doing brine a little bit differently isn't the most effective. So let's just quickly build up another one of these guys. All right, this guy has been built. So we're going to get down another valve here. We're going to grab a sink. And then place this guy here. And then we are going to go for integrated fluid interface. And then fluid export. Oh, I actually don't have any more of these guys. Perfect. And then logic cables, and then a variable card. So exporter, interface, this, that. 999999999. There we go. Backspace. Passive. That should. That's right? Did I do this right? I did do this right. Why did that not take? Does this not work with thermal evaporation valves? Well, let's knock this out real quick. And let's go with this. And then we just want another valve placed here. And we're going to do this. And that should be production of lithium increasing. No, by a little bit. Not a whole lot, but still some. Alright, so I quickly went ahead and I've got a functional storage drawer for HDPE pellets and lithium dust, as you can see on the top. And then over there, I've actually got polonium and plutonium pellets set up with wireless connectors. So everything is actually able to be accessed through our main system, which is fantastic. I also went ahead and did the little bit more chemical oxidizers and rotary condensators and stuff because I was kind of just bored. One of the other things I realized is I actually had this not configured, the fluid. So this actually wasn't really producing a whole lot of brine because of that. So I had gases set instead of fluids. That was my bad. But yeah, now this is functioning. So we've got two different sources of brine coming in. It's still not the fastest, but we are at over 2,000 lithium. I've actually just went ahead and put some upgrades in here just a little bit ago. So we are cruising on that. The next thing that I want to work on is hyper experience. Okay, I have no idea what hyper experience is or anything about create enchantment industry because I don't really use create that much. But the recipe is here. Looks like we actually have to make blaze cakes, which blaze cakes is cinder power, which is cinder flour, sugar, and eggs. So this is not something that we can just EMC, right? Oh, we got turtle eggs that are EMCable, duck eggs, and normal eggs. Okay. And then sugar, cinder flour, which is just netherrack and a pulverizer. Okay. And that is not too difficult. So we just have to get blaze cakes that would allow for us to do superheated, and then that would allow for us to do liquid hyper experience stuff. Okay. But we do need to figure out how to get liquid experience, which is this whole stuff. Disenchanting through a disenchanter. Sandpaper, copper casing. And I want to make a more renewable source of this, because I know we have the R's, greater experience, and experience gems. But I'm kind of thinking I want to make a system for this. But this is only 3 millibuckets. Man, that is pretty rough. 12 millibuckets there? Okay. So we're done with Mekanism for a little while, because we just kind of have to let the lithium build up in general. And I've went ahead and I've built an area back over here for this create stuff, and I've actually already got some of it placed down. These are crushing wheels. If you don't know what a crushing wheel is or how to craft one, here's the recipe. Mechanical crafters, you know, do all that fun stuff. I've done that outside, and we should now be able to kind of get this going. So why do I have crushing wheel? Well, that's going to get us some nuggets of experience. And to do that, let's grab the belts from create, which I actually already have in here. We're going to put this here, and I don't know if this will work, but I'm kind of curious. Let's go EMC link Mark 6. Let's grab iron, raw iron, and I want to grab an electric motor. And a flux point, I guess. Kind of need power, right? So, I guess my question, can I pull out of this without needing anything fancy? It does not look like I can, so let's grab... Actually, I guess I could just do item pipes. This does work, at least from the last time I've used it this way. Like, used item transportation, so let's just go that way. Create wrench. Raw iron. Oh, and of course, hold on. Before I do that, I guess I should activate these things, right? Probably. Probably. And these guys need to rotate in opposite directions. I think they need to basically go this way and then this way. So let's go electric motor. I think I gotta go grab a couple more of them. Actually, let's not grab a whole bunch of electric motors, because I actually want to do gearboxes. Probably vertical. Because I'm going to stack several of these guys on top of each other to just make more nuggets of experience. So let's see if we can do maybe that. And L-shaped gearbox. And then electric motor. And then... So quickly grab a flux point. Okay, so that's not the gearbox I want. I think just a normal gearbox then, right? Except for they're rotating the wrong direction. Which is a problem. I want these guys to rotate the other way. I mean, L shape may work here. We can just send an item and see. Okay, so that does not function. I finally got this to work. So I actually just did gearboxes, normal gearboxes, crushing wheels. These guys are rotating the opposite direction of each other, so you can see what I was talking about. And we drop an item here. This will come out crushed. And we'll get our nuggets of experience. Of course, I'm doing iron because iron is still useful. We could do copper because it's cheaper, but also it's copper. It's not useful, right? So I thought iron should just be a little bit better. This is a little bit more EMC per, but that should be fine. And that is beautiful. So I'm actually just going to grab a barrel for a second. And I think if I set that there, it should flow into it, if I'm not mistaken. And also, we can speed these guys up a little bit because they're still set to the lowest. They're the default, not lowest. If I kind of got to speed up both of them. Okay. Okay, so that did not work. I need to place this somehow. Let's see. That right here is how I need to place it. Nope. How do I... This is how good I am with create, you know? Okay, let's disable that for a second. I mean, that's working. Very, very well, it's working. Which I do love to see. I was thinking of doing like 3 of these guys. If this is gonna work this well, I mean, I may not have to do 3 of them. Holy cow. Okay, I think that's clear. Alright, so one of the other things I want to do is I actually don't want to purely just have this go into like a chest. So let's actually knock this out. And I want to use tunnels and stuff, right? Like, I think that's how I want to do this. So I want to grab some brass tunnels because I basically want to have the nuggets of experience go into a functional storage drawer because we don't really need any other process for that. So I'm going to put the belt line just down this way. So there to there. And then I want to probably put a brass tunnel and another... Well, actually, can I just do a box or something here? Do I have to do a belt? I think I have to do a belt. Is there a way to, like, pull off of a belt without, like, with it being, like, running? Hold on. I'm just kind of experimenting because I don't, as I've said, I don't use create that much. So I'm kind of just experimenting right now. I hope that's okay. Can I do something like this? Where I put like a smart chute and then I grab like a nugget of experience. Pull this off the belt while it's running. I got a diamond chest here. And we'll just let it go and see what happens. Okay. Okay, so it does. Okay, perfect. So that actually clears up one piece of this. So I'm actually going to move this over and put it here, just so it kind of immediately grabs it. And then I guess I also want to see about one other function. So functional storage drawer. If I put this, say, right here. Actually, that's another idea. Hold on. Can I do something like this? I'm sorry. I'm, like, getting distracted because I'm actually kind of interested in this. So north, nugget of experience, lock this drawer. Get rid of this for a second. Would this work? And I'm just going to grab some raw iron so I don't have to set the pipe back. Ooh. That actually might be better than the smart chute. So if I just grab, let's just drop a whole stack. And then, of course, we're going to work on smelting the item, the raw iron, into iron here in a second. Okay, so no, that did not grab all of it. Okay, so the smart chute is the better option. Perfect. That's what I wanted to make sure of. I wasn't sure. But it looks like that is the best option. Alright, so let's put the functional storage drawer here, grab the puller upgrade out of it, and let's go for smart chute, nugget of experience, and entangled block. Because I'm kind of curious if we can do this way. If not, then we can figure out something, right? I just want to see if this may work. Where is my entangled binder? Okay. And then, of course, let's just quickly grab functional storage upgrades. And let's try another stack of raw block of iron. And let's see if this works. Okay, so that did work. Okay. And then also, I'm going to move this back one, or a handful here. Because we're going to put this at the end, a depot. And that should accept the raw iron. So, depot. I think I could just put this guy right here. And then we just need a fan. Encased fan, I think is what it's called. So, propeller. Encased fan. Can I put this here? Rotate it. And then electric motor. I really don't want it to stick out this much, but that's fine. We'll let it. And then there's this nifty thing that I saw a while ago where we have the empty fan catalyst. And we can just do this, fan blasting catalyst. We put this here. And that should blow onto the depot. And hopefully get us some stuff going. Oop. If I can toss this thing. Goodness gracious. Let's see if this works. I don't think speed increases this. But also, I'm not seeing the particles. Hold on. Did I still have these set to decreased? Particles. Yes. I want them decreased, not minimal is what I'm talking about. So this is like 64. I'm wondering if it'll try and smelt an entire stack. This may take a minute. Okay, so it actually did smelt the entire stack. And then I think I would need some kind of item transportation for this. I want to return this into our system, so I'd probably want to grab a functional storage drawer. Controller access point. And just put it right there. And then go relink up to our storage controller. which is over here. And hopefully this is long enough to reach that room. Wherever that room is. I always kind of get lost because there's so many rooms. They all look the same. Okay, and then we just go for like a smart shoot. We'll keep in that aspect of item transportation for at least this. Smart shoot. And drop this. Oh, is it not going to let me? Oh, it's got iron in there. Crushed iron. Okay. So now that I've set the filter, it should work perfectly. So iron. We only have a 1 million iron. Yeah, that is pretty rough. Okay. So I guess this is kind of good to go. I hope. And I will be making more of these off camera. Just because I think that'll work. I don't think we need that fast. Maybe 128. And this is the only part that I'm not doing create, because I don't want to figure out anything else. This is definitely the slowest part of this. So I'm wondering, can I do 2 fan blasting on 1 level and see if that may speed this up? I don't know if 2 fans on 1 thing speed it up. And then encased fan. And then we just make sure we rotate this so the arrow's pointing the right way. I don't think we're on like a chunk boundary, right? I think we're all chunk loaded. Okay. And then electric motor. 256. And then flux point. And shuts network. I hope this will speed this up. I have no idea if that's how that works. But I'm going to send it and just hope that that works that way. I honestly think I might replace this with an iron furnace. That might be more beneficial. Just because right now, yes, this is not going to be as quick as I want. Because I basically want to have an indefinite amount of nuggets of experience, right? So let's actually just tear this all out. Because I don't think that's speeding this up that much. And let's see about getting an iron furnace. At iron furnace. Netherite furnace. And I'm going to let all of this kind of fall into the ground here. Factory. Auto split. Flux point, which I should have on me. And then I'm going to say on the back direction is input, auto input, and then auto output on the bottom. It's not going to take from here, is it, though? Oh, actually, it is, but it's very slow. So I'm kind of wondering, can I do something like this? Let me get rid of that. And then if I do something like so, where it would just speed up transportation, and then we just do like a speed augment as well. And we could probably also grab a blast furnace augment. And that will just clear this up significantly. Right? That's kind of the goal. Is to just make sure this is fast enough so we don't get a backup. Okay. Well, I think that'll do for now. I think in the next episode we'll get all of the hyper experience part completed. Mostly I wanted to get the nuggets of experience because we don't really have like a great renewable source. The drink me farm is good, but we would run out of those very, very quickly. And this way, we are obtaining iron, which is a needed resource, and we are getting also nuggets of experience. So, overall, I think this will work. I think this is a decent system. I'll probably add another one or two up here and above it, just so that way we are getting more and more nuggets of experience. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.